Have you ever wondered how your heart functions when you take a breath? Well, let's dive into this fascinating process. As you inhale, your lungs fill with oxygen-rich air. This oxygen is crucial for life as it fuels your cells and keeps your body running smoothly. But how does this oxygen get to your cells? That's where your heart comes in. At the same time as you're drawing in that life-giving breath, deoxygenated blood, which is blood that has delivered its load of oxygen to your cells, is making its way back to your heart. It's a simultaneous process of give and take that keeps the cycle of life going. Your heart, the magnificent pump that it is, stands ready to receive this deoxygenated blood and start the process of oxygenating it once more. So as you inhale, your heart begins its vital task of circulating blood throughout your body. After inhalation, where does this deoxygenated blood go within the heart? Let's dive right into the journey of this blood, which has just returned from a trip around the body, depleted of oxygen and ready for a refill. Our first stop is the right atrium, one of the 4 chambers of the heart. Shaped like a little room, the atrium is the welcoming chamber for blood. This is where the deoxygenated blood enters the heart, carried by 2 large veins, the superior and inferior vena cava. The superior vena cava brings in blood from the upper parts of the body, while the inferior vena cava takes care of the lower parts. Once the right atrium is filled, it contracts, acting like a pump. This pushes the blood through the tricuspid valve, a one-way gate that ensures blood flows in the right direction. And this leads us to our next destination, the right ventricle. The right ventricle, a larger and more muscular chamber, is the powerhouse of the heart. Its job is to pump blood out of the heart and towards the lungs. But how does it do this? When the right ventricle contracts, it forces the blood up and out through the pulmonary valve and into the pulmonary artery. This artery acts like a highway, speeding the blood on its way to the lungs. And what happens in the lungs? Well, it's nothing short of a miracle of nature. The blood releases the carbon dioxide it's been carrying, the waste product from your body's cells, and picks up fresh oxygen instead. This gas exchange is crucial for life, as oxygen is the fuel that our cells need to function. The right side of your heart ensures the deoxygenated blood reaches your lungs for a very crucial exchange. So the next time you take a deep breath, remember the incredible journey that your blood takes through the right atrium and ventricle, and appreciate the tireless work of your heart in keeping you alive and well. What happens to the blood when it reaches the lungs? Well, this is where the magic of pulmonary circulation occurs. We're talking about an extraordinary process that involves a swap of gases. Yes, our blood is quite the trader, exchanging carbon dioxide, a waste product, for a fresh dose of life-sustaining oxygen. Now let's get into the details. The right ventricle has just done its job, pumping the deoxygenated blood into the pulmonary artery. The blood, carrying carbon dioxide, is now on a first-class journey to our lungs. Once in the lungs, the blood flows into the capillaries, which are wrapped around the tiny air sacs known as alveoli. These alveoli are where the actual exchange of gases happens. It's a bustling marketplace for gases, if you will. The carbon dioxide in the blood diffuses out through the thin walls of the alveoli and is breathed out of our bodies. Goodbye, waste. But the trade isn't over. Oxygen from the air we've inhaled is waiting to find a new home in our blood. This oxygen diffuses through the alveoli walls and into the blood. It's then picked up by a special molecule in our red blood cells called hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is like the oxygen's personal chauffeur, ensuring it reaches its final destination, the body's cells. With this exchange complete, the blood is now oxygen-rich. It has successfully traded its carbon dioxide for oxygen in the lungs. A fantastic deal, wouldn't you agree? From here, the oxygenated blood begins its return trip to the heart. It enters the pulmonary veins, the only veins in the body carrying oxygen-rich blood, and heads towards the left atrium, ready for the next leg of its journey. And that, my friends, is the magic of pulmonary circulation. It's a constant cycle ensuring that every cell in our body gets the oxygen it needs and gets rid of the waste it doesn't. This exchange at the lungs transforms the blood from deoxygenated to oxygen-rich. An amazing process indeed. Now that the blood is oxygen-rich, where does it go next within the heart? This is where the left side of the heart makes its grand entrance. The oxygen-rich blood, fresh from its journey through the lungs, heads back to the heart, specifically to the left atrium. The left atrium, a chamber located in the upper half of the heart, acts like a welcoming host, receiving this oxygen-saturated blood. It's like the foyer in a grand mansion where guests are received before being ushered into the main hall. Once the left atrium is filled, it contracts. This contraction is like a gentle nudge, pushing the blood through an important gateway known as the mitral valve. This valve, like a well-trained butler, only swings one way, ensuring that the blood flows into the left ventricle and doesn't flow back into the atrium. Now picture the left ventricle as the heart's main banquet hall. It's larger and stronger than the atrium, and for a good reason. Its walls are built to withstand pressure because the left ventricle has a very important job. It's like the powerhouse of the heart, providing the force needed to pump this oxygen-rich blood out to the rest of the body. When the left ventricle contracts, it's like the sound of a starting gun at a race. The blood is propelled out of the heart and sent speeding along the highway of arteries that crisscross your body. From your brain to your toes, every cell in your body relies on this vital delivery of oxygen to function. And so, the left atrium and ventricle work as a team, ensuring that every corner of your body gets the oxygen it needs to thrive. They are the unsung heroes of your circulatory system, tirelessly working to keep you alive and well. The left side of your heart serves to distribute oxygen-rich blood to every cell in your body. This incredible journey, from lungs to heart, and then from heart to body, is a testament to the marvel that is your heart. What happens after the oxygen-rich blood leaves the heart? This is where systemic circulation comes into play, a fascinating journey that oxygen takes to reach every cell in the body. Once the oxygen-rich blood is pumped out of the heart by the mighty left ventricle, it begins its journey through a vast network of arteries. These arteries are like the high-speed highways of your body, transporting vital oxygen from the heart to the furthest reaches of your body, from your brain all the way down to your toes. But the journey doesn't end at the arteries. The blood then travels through smaller roads known as arterioles, and finally reaches the narrowest and most intricate paths of all, the capillaries. Here, the magic happens. The oxygen in the blood diffuses through the thin capillary walls and into the body's cells. The cells in turn release carbon dioxide, a waste product of their metabolic processes. This carbon dioxide diffuses back into the blood, turning it from a vibrant red to a darker hue. But the journey of the blood doesn't end here. Now deoxygenated, it begins its return trip to the heart. It travels through venules, which are like the capillaries' counterparts, and then through veins, the large return routes back to the heart. The deoxygenated blood eventually makes its way to the heart, entering through the superior and inferior vena cava into the right atrium. From here it will be sent to the lungs to become oxygen-rich once again, and the cycle continues. This incredible journey happens in just a few heartbeats, with your heart tirelessly working day in and day out to ensure every cell gets the oxygen it needs to function. Through systemic circulation, your heart ensures every cell gets the oxygen it needs to function. But how does the heart manage to keep this intricate process in rhythm? The answer lies in a small but powerful part of the heart known as the sinoatrial node, or the SA node for short. Nestled in the right atrium, the SA node is the heart's natural pacemaker. It fires off electrical signals that set the pace for your heartbeat. These electrical impulses race down the heart's conductive pathways, causing the heart muscles to contract and pump blood. From the right atrium, the signal travels to the right ventricle, then to the left atrium and finally to the left ventricle, ensuring a coordinated contraction that efficiently pumps blood throughout your body. This electrical system is astonishingly reliable, regulating your heart's rhythm and pace to adapt to your body's needs, whether you're sprinting to catch a bus or peacefully sleeping. Your heart's rhythm is a sophisticated dance, choreographed by the SA node's electrical signals. So, from inhalation to exhalation, how does your heart function? Let's take a quick recap. When you breathe in, your lungs fill with oxygen-rich air. This oxygen gets absorbed into the blood as it journeys through your heart, starting at the right atrium. Then, the right ventricle takes over, propelling this blood towards your lungs, where it releases carbon dioxide and absorbs more oxygen. This freshly oxygenated blood then returns to your heart, finding its way into the left atrium and subsequently, the left ventricle, which pumps it out to the rest of your body. This process, called systemic circulation, delivers oxygen to each and every cell in your body, and all the while your heart's rhythm is maintained by electrical signals originating from the sinoatrial node. Remember, with every breath you take, your heart is working tirelessly to keep you alive and well. Stay curious about how your body works, and never stop exploring the wonders of human anatomy.